Hello everybody, welcome to our Figma crash course. So I'm on figma.com. You can Google search for figma.com and this is what you're going to get. Okay, so this is the web app for Figma. If you want to get the desktop app, just search for Figma. Alright, Figma download. Okay, search for Figma download and you're going to get to the download link. This is it. Click on it and it's going to open the download page here. You scroll down and you're going to find your device. So I'm using Windows. Alright, so you're going to download for Windows. If you're using Mac, you download for Mac here. So I'm going to click on download. When you click on download, it will start downloading, but because I already have it, alright, I'm going to cancel the download. Okay, so once you have downloaded it, let's get started. Alright, so if you're using the web app too, you can just click on this button here and you're going to sign in with your Gmail. So sign in with your Gmail, then we meet at the other side. So after signing in, you have to answer some questions. Alright, so how do you plan to use Figma? Personal project or work projects? Which role best describes you? So you have to define who you are. Let's say product management or product design. Who else will be joining you? You can skip this process as well. Have you used Figma before? So if it's your first time, you're going to choose it's your first time. If yes, few times and many times, so you have to choose it yourself. Alright, and you choose the starter plan, which are going to get 3 files to work and basic design, prototyping and collaborating. And you're going to get free limited features and plugins with the starter pack. What would you like to do first? Design with Figma. Finish. Okay, so if you land on this page, click the Figma logo here and go to back to files and you come to the main home page. Alright, so this is our home page. You can change your view here. Alright, you can sort by alphabetical order. Alright, so that is when you have projects here, and this is drafts. Any project you add to drafts, only you are going to see. So you can add a new design, other stuff. So you can also import a design here, a Figma file, and this place you see all your projects. And here is teams. So any project you share or you add to teams will be available for members in that team. Okay. And this is Figma community. With the community, you'll be able to land free components and designs, 3D tools and templates that you can help or that can help you design, or you can use in your design as well. This is where we begin. Alright, so we go to all projects and let's rename. Alright, let's rename our project. So use any name. I'm going to use Papi's app. Okay. So after you rename your project, you're going to click on create here and you create a new design. Alright, so Figma is going to load your canvas. Figma is going to load your canvas and we have a whole lot of designs that we can, or tools that we can use to design. Alright, so if you want to go back to your files, you just click on this Figma icon here and you click on back to files. Alright, so if you are here and you want to go to your folder or your file that you just created, you have to just double click on this. Alright, double click and you are in. Okay, so if you want to rename it to, when you hover here, it will be highlighted and double click to rename. And I'm going to use the same name Alright, I'm going to use the same name as the project name. Back to our canvas. This space here is our canvas. Alright, so before we start designing anything, we need to get a frame. So with drawing a frame, it's either you hit on the F key, and this is the frame, right? This is the frame tool, and you hold and drag to draw a frame. And you can see you can change the dimensions of the frame by dragging these points. And if you are on the design tab, you can also go specifically and type in, let's say I want a width of 400, and hit on enter, and you can see your frame will be adjusted according to what you type here. Alright, so let's say I'm designing for an iPhone 16 or any latest version, and I don't want to adjust the sizes manually. There's a shortcut that I can use. Alright, so let's delete this frame here. On this panel on your left, this is the asset and this is your file. So you go to your file and you can see there are layers here. Alright, so you select the frame and you hit on the delete key to delete the frame. Alright, so let's create another frame. It's either you hit this frame tool, or you hold F, or you click on F, and you can see on your right side different screen sizes are here. So let's say we are designing for the iPhone 16 Plus, just hit it and select, and you see this is iPhone 16 Plus. Alright, so you can hold Alt to duplicate your frame, hold Alt and drag, or you can press on Ctrl D to duplicate your frames. Alright, so let's say you want 10 pages of design frames, you can just keep clicking on Ctrl D and you duplicate your frames. Okay, so now that we are able to draw our frames or create our frames, let's talk about how to navigate. Okay, so there is a hand tool here which you can select, or you can press H, alright, to move around. You can as well select any dimension that you want from this sidebar. Alright, you can hold Control with your mouse scroll bar or scroll wheel to zoom in and out. You can as well click on minus or plus to zoom in and out. And if you look at this section, you can see zoom to fit, which is Shift plus 1. So let's click on Shift plus 1. As you can see, Shift plus 1 is going to zoom to fit. Let's go ahead and rename our pages, because as we are saying iPhone 16 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3, that is not how we want to go ahead or proceed with the designing. So we have to rename. There are two methods of renaming. You can double click on the layer and write the name here. So I'm going to give this one the home page. Alright, so as you can see, the home page is here, and let me give this one location. Okay, so this is another way of renaming your page. Okay, you can just click on it and put services here. Alright, so after naming your frames, you can as well name your pages. Alright, so let's name this page as mobile. Alright, and we can click on this plus sign here to add another page. So we are going to name this page tablet, and again we are going to click on these pages to add another page, and you can guess we are going to make this one a desktop. So let's go back to our mobile page, and if you pick a frame, you can move it to a page. So you can move this frame to either a desktop page or a tablet page, but we don't need to do that now. Alright, so let's focus on this home page. When you click on the home page, you press Shift+2. It's gonna zoom to selection, which means it's gonna focus on that particular frame. Alright, so let's come to this panel and let's apply a fill to it. Okay, so when you click on this white space, you're going to see your color panel and you can pick various colors. You can use the slider to change colors. This is for the opacity. You can type your hex codes here, right? Yes, and you can also select using other various color methods, alright? And you can as well give it a gradient. Okay, you can give it a gradient and rotate it to any angle you want. This one is to change the color. Alright, and what we are going to do is we are going to give it an image. Alright, we are going to give it an image, so you can give it a pattern, you can give it a video, and let's import an image for this homepage background. So we are going to go to our root folder. First of all, you have to create your root folder in your desktop. Okay, so let's pick this image here. Okay, so this image is in the description below. There's a link there, you can pick the file and follow up with me. Don't forget to subscribe as well. So with this fill image panel, you can scale it to fit, you can scale it to tile, you can scale it to crop. So I'm going to use crop so that you can place it proportionally as how you want. Alright, when it's okay, you click on the canvas and you go back. You can as well adjust the exposure levels, alright, contrast, the saturation, and the temperature. Okay, and at this place you can add a stroke here. When you click here, you add a stroke. Okay, and you can control the stroke width, and you can control the color and opacity of the stroke, but we don't need to do that now. So let's go back and give it a 0 stroke, and you can remove from here too. You know, this is the eyeball, and remove, toggle to remove. Alright, so we can also add effects, drop shadow, you can add noise. As you can see, we can blur the background and make it glass. We can add texture, but we are not going to do that now. Alright, so what we are going to do is create a rectangle, because as you can see, the picture is too bright and it's going to affect readability or visibility. So let's click on this rectangle tool, or you press R to get your rectangle. You can drag it here to create it. Right, it doesn't need to be in a frame to be able to create. Okay, so when you create it outside the frame, it's going to be here on top of our frames. Alright, let me delete the other frames so that everything will be clear for us. Okay, it's going to be on top of the home frame. You can drag it inside doing this by holding and dragging it inside, or you can also move it here to also place it inside the frame. Alright, so we are going to make sure we stretch it for it to cover the whole home page. And as you can see, when you are stretching, you'll be seeing grid lines. Okay, some grid lines that tells you that you're on point or you've gone overboard. So those are guides that you have to use them to make your page always align well. Let's go ahead and select our rectangle. So you can choose it directly from the layers panel here. Alright, and come to the fill and let's pick a darker shade. So I am going to increase the opacity a little bit because the background feels too strong. Okay, this is fine. So let's press on Shift plus 2. Alright, Shift plus 2 to zoom into the frame. Okay, so let's draw another rectangle. You can press your R key to get your rectangle, or you can choose rectangle from this panel. Let's give it a corner radius of 12. So you can move it around to see when it snaps. Alright, so I want to increase the width a little bit. So I'm going to increase the width with this dimension panel, and I'm going to align it. So this section you can align your work. Okay, so this is going to align it horizontally and align vertical centers. So this one is also going to place it vertically in the middle, and this one is going to place it horizontally in the middle. So let's go ahead and choose a color for our chartboard. So I am going to use the hue saturation layer, hue saturation and lightness color mode. Okay, so I'm going to reduce the saturation a little bit, and I'm going to reduce the lightness as well. If you are following me, then we are using a width of 280 and the height of 386, so you can copy the same values, and this is the color we are using, so you can copy the color code and you can reduce the lightness to make it a little bit darker, or the saturation, okay, to take out some color from it. Okay, so we are going to use our ellipse tool. So you can press O or choose your ellipse tool from the tools panel here, and let's hold on Shift 2 to focus on this rectangle, and let's press O for our ellipse tool. We hold on Shift to draw a perfect circle. Alright, hold on Shift to draw a perfect circle. And let me show you one more thing. You can scale this by holding on Shift. If you release your hand from Shift, it's going to distort it. Alright, but if you want to scale it without holding Shift, you have to use the scale tool, which is K for shortcut, to move it up and down without distorting it. And when you are done, you have to go back to the move tool. Alright, you have to go back to the move tool to get your default appearance panel here. So sometimes you can get locked and you don't find your appearance panel. You can just remember that you are on your scale tool. If you're on your scale tool, you'll not get your appearance panel, so you have to go back to your move tool so that you can find your appearance panel here. Okay, so let's align this to the center. You can use horizontal alignment to put it in the center. So I'm going to scale it and make it a little bit smaller, and let's put it in the center. So the shortcut for the move tool is also V, and let's go ahead and use our sample color here and pick a color, and let's increase the saturation of this color, and let's also increase the lightness. like this. But this is okay. At this point, I want to add a logo to my design. Okay, so what we are going to do is go to our Figma logo, open the logo panel, and the toolbars. Let's look for plugin. Alright, so you're going to go to manage plugins, and when you go to manage plugins, you search for quick fill. You search for quick fill, okay, and you click on it. This is here because I've already used it, but you have to run plugin or save it if it's your first time. And when you are done, you run it and you come to this quick fill dashboard, and we are going to go for assets, and we need a logo, so we are going to go for logo. And you can see these are real logos, real recognizable brand logos like Amazon and Apple Music. And we are going to use a placeholder, so you click on placeholder, and we have so many options that you can choose from. I'm going to choose this one right here. So you can close your quick fill plugin panel, and let's use our K or scale tool. The shortcut is K to scale this logo here nicely. Okay, so let's go back to our plugins. Manage plugins. That is when you want to search or find another plugin. Alright, so the plugin we are going to use is icon 8. So we are going to save it. We are going to run the plugin. So with the icon 8, I want to find an expand icon to place it here. So let's search for the word expand. Okay, so before you click, you can as well change the colors that you want. So let me go ahead and select white, and I'm going to use this one. And let's close our panel and let's scale it. Okay, alright, and in Figma you can also use the ruler tool. So when you go to your menu, which is the Figma icon, you're going to go to view and you'll see rulers. Okay, so your rulers will appear here, and you can use them to help you align your designs. So in Figma, as well as using your rulers, you can also use a tool which is called layout grid. So with the layout grid, you have to make sure you've selected your home frame. Let me zoom out. You've selected your home frame, and you come down here and you find layout grid. Alright, so I am going to go for columns, and with the mobile it's advisable to use 4-column grid, alright, to align your design perfectly. And with tablets you're going to use 8-column, and when you're using a desktop you're going to go with 12 columns. So this is a mobile, so we're going to go with 4. So you can as well set rows that you are going to use to design. Okay, so as time goes on and we are going to be designing web pages, we are going to use these columns and rows to align our work perfectly. Alright, so let's get back to our design. Okay, so you can see In the layers panel, our logo is way above the home page. Alright, it's above the home page, which means it is not inside the layers. So let's bring the logo back into the home page. I'm going to align our logo and our expand button. Alright, I don't like where it is placed. Okay, so I'm going to make sure I align them very well. So you can use the H key to move around. Okay, you can use the H key to zoom and drag your artboard from left to right, and you hold your control and use your mouse scroll wheel to zoom in and out. Alright, so let's go back to using our grid layout. So let's apply our grid here, and I'm going to use a 4 column. So with the grid, you can place the icons inside to know that it is obviously in the right positioning. So you can change the color here, you can reduce the opacity here, you can increase the margin and gutter, or you can change the type, okay, to fit the purpose of your design and how you want it to help. So I'm going to move this a little bit to the top. So let's go ahead and turn off the grid layout. And at this point, I'm going to get a text. So just find a string of text. You can look in the files which has been indicated in the video description. You can find a string of text that we are going to use. So you're going to copy your text and come back to your canvas. And you're going to use the type tool. This is the type tool. You can press T, or you come back to your tools panel and select your type tool. We are going to place our string of text in this empty space. So let's go ahead and pick our type tool and click here. Alright, you can do this by pasting Ctrl V directly here, and this is how you're going to get it. So with this method of pasting a text, you're going to have to edit it manually. Alright, as well as reducing the font size. Okay, so let's say we don't want to do it this way. Let me show you another method. So what you have to do is to draw a space, right? Let's say a rectangle, while holding your type tool. Okay, when you choose your type tool, use your type tool to draw the rectangle. Okay, so with your type tool, you use your type tool to draw the rectangle, and you control and paste it here, Ctrl V. And with this method, it's going to scale appropriately for you, and it's easier to work with. Alright, so if you increase your text, you don't have to scale everything manually. Alright, you don't have to scale everything manually. So let's go ahead and remove this section from the text field. So with the text tool, let's copy or select our text, and with this panel here, you can change your font styles.